Nevertheless, even the Catholic Church, and I speak as a Catholic theologian, which in the person of Pope Gregory XVI in 1832 condemned freedom of conscience as madness, deliramentum is the Latin used, eventually the Catholic Church relented and totally reversed itself, without admitting it, of course, in the 1965 Declaration of Religious Freedom at the Second Vatican Council, insisting that religious liberty and freedom of conscience were at the heart of the Catholic tradition. In its magisterial document, The Church in the Modern World, that same Vatican II Council stated, and I quote, man as an individual and as a member of society craves a life that is full, autonomous, and worthy of his nature as a human being. Man has the need to exercise his freedom in a mature and personal way. It is, however, only in freedom that man can turn himself toward what is good. Man's dignity, therefore, requires him to act out of conscience and free choice. End of quotation. In the 21st century, we are increasingly aware that on the one hand, we are capable not only of causing immeasurable suffering and destruction, can even destroy the earth, make it uninhabitable. On the other hand, we are also aware that we can feed and educate the entire world population if we put our creativity and energy to that end. The 2006 Nobel Peace Prize laureate, Muhammad Yunus, credibly declared the year 2030 as when poverty will be eliminated from the world. And he is well on the way to making it happen. We humans, in other words, are responsible both for the evil and also the good in this world. Third point, the embrace of dialogue. Dialogue is not just a conversation. It is a whole new way of thinking. Like the elevation of freedom in the Enlightenment to the level of an unstoppable revolution sweeping the world, so too dialogue is now also an unstoppable revolution in the emerging age of global dialogue. Indeed, dialogue is at the very heart of the universe, of which we humans are the highest expression. From the basic integration of matter and energy to the creative interaction between protons and electrons in every atom, to the vital symbiosis of body and spirit in every human through the creative dialogue between woman and man, to the dynamic relationship between individual and society. And thus, the very essence of our humanity is dialogical, and a fulfilled human life is the highest expression of what I call the cosmic dance of dialogue. In the early millennia of the history of humanity, as we spread outward from our starting point in Central Africa, the forces of divergence were dominant. However, because we live on a globe in our frenetic divergence, we eventually came to encounter each other more and more frequently, so that now the forces of stunning convergence are becoming increasingly dominant. In the past, during the age of divergence, we could live in isolation from each other. We could ignore each other. Now in the age of convergence, we are forced to live in one world. We increasingly live in a global village. We cannot ignore the other, the different. Too often in the past, we have tried to make over the other into a likeness of ourselves, often by violence. But this is the very opposite of dialogue. This egocentric arrogance is in fundamental opposition to the cosmic dance of dialogue. It is not creative, it is destructive. Hence, we humans today have a stark choice: dialogue or death. For us humans, there are, I think, 4 main dimensions to dialogue, the 4 H's, corresponding to the structure of our humanness. The dialogue of the head, the dialogue of the hands, the dialogue of the heart, and the dialogue of wholeness or holiness. First, the cognitive or the intellectual, seeking the truth. In the dialogue of the head, we mentally reach out to the other to learn from those who think differently from us. We try to understand how they see the world and why they act as they do. The world is far too complicated for any of us to understand alone. We can increasingly understand reality only with the help of the other in dialogue. This is very important because how we understand the world determines how we act in the world. Second, the illative or ethical, seeking the good. In the dialogue of the hands, we join together with others to work to make the world a better place in which we all must live together. And since we can no longer live separately in this one world, we must work jointly to make it not just a house, but a home for all of us to live in. Or stated other, we join hands with the others to heal the world. The world within us and all around us is always in need of healing, and our deepest wounds can be healed only together with the other, only in dialogue. 3, the affective or aesthetic, seeking the beautiful. In the dialogue of the heart, we open ourselves to receive the beauty of the other. Because we humans are body and spirit, we give bodily spiritual expression in all the arts to our multifarious responses to life: joy, sorrow, gratitude, anger, and most of all, love. We try to express our inner feelings, which grasp reality far deeper and higher ways than we are able to put into rational concepts and words. Hence, we create poetry, music, dance, painting, architecture, the expressions of the heart. All the world delights in beauty, and so it is here that we find the easiest encounter with the other, the simplest door to dialogue. 4, wholeness or holiness, seeking the one. We humans cannot long live a divided life. If we are even to survive, let alone flourish, we must get it all together, as we used to say in the 60s. We must live a whole life. Indeed, this is what the Abrahamic religions mean when they say that we humans should be holy. Holy comes from whole, W-H-O-L-E in English. We humans can be truly human, however, only if we bring our various parts together in harmony, if we integrate our being holistically. Therefore, we are authentically human only when our multiple elements are in dialogue with each other, and we, in turn, are in dialogue with the others around us. We must dance together. The dialogue of the head, the dialogue of the hands, the dialogue of the heart, and the holy cosmic dance of dialogue.